I don't know why this is the longest setup I ever had.
What's that sound, dude?
What?
The fuck was that sound? Oh, I think the Happy New Year fell down.
Oh, alright. Good. Yeah, boy.
Are you gonna be on the mask the whole time?
Yeah, so this is what you were asking why I don't see my face. Now you can even see less.
Do
No,
I
I'm
need to
kidding.
put on the mask?
No, you don't need to. I'm just for the goof getting of that. Yeah. Okay, I think so. We are set up, yeah? Yeah. Do you remember the
I
topic?
think so. Remind me a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So you wanted to bring in the spirituality and the wellness, right?
Like mind, body. As you know, all of us we know this is machinery. Because of this mask, it's uh, we have COVID-19 filters.
Mm-hmm.
What is the range of this? Do you remember?
What's the brand?
Like the range of reach, like how much circle of this they reach to clean up, like half a meter, 1 or 2, 5 meters of this.
No.
Yeah, I think it's more than 2 or 5 meters. Because I know the small one is a 1.5. She said.
Yeah, this one's like something like 500 square foot or
Yeah.
1,000 square
All right.
foot.
So.
Do you need me to find out? I might have a fly here.
No. Stay. Everything's good. Yeah. Okay. So.
So just before we start, just tell me a little bit which direction we're heading at, and
just imagine.
So the key we're talking about is about wellness, health, and also the mind, right?
Yeah.
And you want something unique to talk about the mind.
Yeah, because I'm in the space of wellness, fitness, health. I did this for the specific reasons. I select this type of lifestyle what I have.
Yes.
Because I know it's important. And then when I met you, you've shown me you presenting yourself, and you presenting something what I was missing in people. And it's not often I met somebody who when they say for 80% of success it's diet, and then 20% it's exercise. It's the percentage was never corrected for me because the element of mind was missing.
Okay, so basically we want to talk more about mind. And I would love to share about mind as well, and how I got my interest in terms of the mind and everything. And I can share more about that.
Yeah, because this is what I think it's of the element of the Powerhouse podcast. That's the platform where I'm trying to create it to present it people who are like you are, and what you created with the wellness experts. And when you say if we are those kind of experts, it's like with so many different fields. That means when you even spelled the name of your company differently for this kind of reasons.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, because we are, as a definition, not power, like not experts by the
by hierarchy.
Exactly, hierarchy. This was missing.
More
this
like word. Okay, so I can definitely talk about that. And but I'm just saying my passion when you told me about this is to talk more about this whole the way I approach it, or because my interest in the my interest in the spirituality kind of side of things, and that angle of the Buddhism or Buddha Dharma, something like that, right? So
because the point is, like, I've had this conversation with people to teach myself something. I want to have another conversation with some fitness trainer to like I know the stuff. I'm like, okay, I understand. We're spreading the message to people who don't know. So it's better if like two people talks about the same. But in this kind of conversation, what I have, it's more about not presenting something for me, but presenting for people who
Cool,
listen
I
this.
get it. Okay, so
yeah.
can I sit cross-legged as well? Like,
whatever
I
you
can
want.
move, right?
Do whatever you want. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you want to
Yeah.
feel like the comfortable. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah. So okay.
All right, let's
Ready?
do it.
Yeah. Done. You have enough water. Everything. It's good.
Enough water.
Hi guys. This is Mac. Powerhouse podcast. I today have somebody very interested. Very unique. I didn't have even expected somebody like that will show up and in the episode in so soon. It's we did what 10, 15, 17, I think so 17 episodes, and it's already this kind of person. This powerhouse is here. So his name is Chris. Can you introduce yourself, Chris?
Yes, just want to check you're recording, right?
Yeah.
Just in case. Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
good.
we already the 6 minutes and 47.
No, just
good eye.
Prevent
So,
any...
by the way, this is uniqueness about a Chris. He's even more geeky than me. So get ready.
Yeah. So what was your question again? Introduce myself.
Yes.
Yes. So my name is Chris, and I'm originally from Hong Kong. And I was born here. Went to a local school. And studied in the UK when I was in my high school. I did mostly sciences and mathematics for A-level. And then for university, I did computer science in the USA. I went to Brown University in America on the East Coast. And my mom is Indonesian Chinese, and my dad is Hong Kong Chinese. Mm-hmm. So I grew up very much in this Southeast Asian community because my mom has 9 siblings. 7 sisters and 2 brothers. So my mom has a very big influence on my life. Yeah. And I would,
It's for somebody who you mentioned grow up in this kind of culture. When you enter US, was there some type of cultural shock for you?
I first entered the Western sort of schooling in the UK.
Okay.
So definitely that was a big culture shock. And US was my second city that I went for in terms of my studies. So the US was less of a culture shock, but the UK was a big culture shock.
Oh. Additional for the introduction, I think so. Yeah, for 100%, I wanna say it exactly. For people who will be watching this on the video format. So this is the place.
Yes.
This is where you're operating in Hong Kong.
Yes.
You can just tell a little bit more about this place.
I first started this place in around 2010, 2011. At that time, before that, I was living in Singapore, building my business, and out of some random reason, we decided to open up the Hong Kong branch. And we've been here for about 8 to 10 years now. I think 10 years. Yeah.
What exactly happened? How did you start in this industry? Because we're talking about health, fitness, wellness.
So the health and fitness industry traces back to my mother, and I officially entered the industry in about 2003, 2002 during SARS and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, do you want me to tell you the whole story? And,
yeah.
Okay,
so I have all life.
Okay, so as I said earlier, I was studying mostly sciences, and university I did computer science. I was always a bit of a geek in terms of computers, but I just want to give you an interesting fact because health has always been my passion. And one of the reasons for that is because my Chinese name is called Lou Ji Hong and Lu Zhi Kang.
Don't tell me to repeat this.
And the last word is Kang.
Uh-huh.
Kang is part of the word in Chinese about health. And actually, when I grew up in my primary school days, or actually when I grew up, my best friend was my cousin, and his name was Lok Ho Gin. And my name is Lou Ji Hong. So Gin Hong, it's like that means health in Chinese.
Oh, so you're connecting both names of you guys?
Yeah.
It's in health, yeah?
My last name is already means health, means Hong. It's part of the Gin Hong.
okay.
It also means health.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's-
So I was a really, really good swimmer at school, and so I've always thought like basically it's like a subliminal brainwashing, like that I'm healthy because I had this name and I was such a fast swimmer.
you felt like you had a messenger.
No, I just felt like I was healthy. Like it was
right.
in my name. It was sort of my lifestyle when I was young. I was the number one. I was taller than most of the kids, and I was the really fast swimmer. I was never afraid of cold. I was taller than everybody, so I kind of like I'm healthy because I just had this in my name and DNA kind of thing.
Okay. Do you have siblings?
No, I'm the only child. So I had a lot of cousins. And, in my mom's family, because they had 9 siblings, I probably have 20 to 30 cousins from Indonesia, Hong Kong, Switzerland, everywhere.
So it's like you felt like you were the health element, but you didn't study health.
No.
So what happened?
So what happened was I always felt I was healthy. I was good at sports. I was never afraid of the cold. I was always naughty doing sports. And when I was 16, 17, because my mother used to run a traditional shoe business in the women's fashion. Basically, they had 5 shoe shops and a children clothing brand called Y&Half. So her shoe shops was always in Landmark. She had shops over there. And my mom was also a pharmacist. So she was working as a pharmacist for 10 years.
So she was educated in this field?
Yes. Yeah. And she had her shoe business for 20 years.
So those two was just driving for the same time?
Yes. And when the Asia economic crisis hit in 1997, 1998, she had to close down her shoe business. And at that time, I heard my mom and dad arguing a lot.
What do you think? They will not?
Yeah, of course, right?
I had the same. Like when I was growing up in the communist Poland, and talking about a business when it's not legal.
Right.
It's because you cannot. Government give you coupons for food.
Yeah.
And it's not enough. I need, if you have some aspirations as a parent, and you can see the stress of the parents. So the crisis, what you mentioned, it's which year was that?
1997, 1998. It was during
related.
The Asia economic crisis.
What was related to the Asia crisis?
I think something to do with the US dollar and the Indonesian dollar. Basically, in Indonesia, I don't even know. It was like basically from 1 to 1 to 1 to 100. So basically, Indonesian dollar tanked.
Oh, okay. And it's just like after that, another country, whatever is connected. And just,
I didn't study finance. Like most of my friends are in banking, but I know nothing. Yeah. But I know the Asia economic crisis.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's always been in my career, the story about my career. So that's when my mom entered Herbalife Nutrition as a representative. She had many options, and but what she told everyone is that. So my mother. Dad, so my grandfather and my mother's side, actually opened a bank in Hong Kong. So my mother's family is from Indonesia, and they were originally from China. So they migrated to Indonesia. They were some kind of tycoon of some sort, doing lots of businesses. And my grandfather decided to come to Hong Kong to open a bank. And after 1 month of opening the bank, he passed away of a heart attack and diabetes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what age he was?
53.
Wow. Which year was it? So it was before the crisis?
Oh, yeah, this is way back.
Way back. Okay.
So when my mom was 12 or something like that.
So that was her dad?
Her dad.
Oh, wow.
So he passed away because of high blood pressure and diabetes.
Yeah.
So my grandmother had 9 children back then. So she had to take care of everyone.
And my mom is 12.
Something like that.
Yeah, so she's like in the middle. She's
She's the 7th out of the 9th.
Wow.
So what my grandmother, from then on, just nagged her kids. Health is more important than wealth.
Yeah.
Health is more important than wealth. Yeah. So in her family, there's 3 doctors, and she's a pharmacist. and the rest are a couple of accountants, and the rest are all business administration, kind of business people. So because of that health crisis of my grandfather, they produced 3 doctors and my mom a pharmacist and all that kind of stuff. So when my mom's business closed down, she was obviously lost. She was about 47, 48 at that time. And she spoke with her friends, obviously, right? And there are some friends who told her about an opportunity to open up a pharmacy in China. And the other one was Herbalife. And because of my mom's pharmacist training, she decided to go into Herbalife because Herbalife's main philosophy is about cellular nutrition. And my mom understood how, the modern world...
Yeah, the element of nutrition, how it's important, and its element of the health,
The main element she understood was the additives, the coloring, the whatever that is added to our food, in the fast food, in the preservatives, in the drugs. So she actually knew how, with the cellular nutrition concept, how cleansing the body and improving the absorption would help people much more. And with that simple belief, she joined Herbalife Nutrition, which my dad and myself kept making fun of her because we thought she had been conned.
How old you were when you were laughing about your mom?
Laughing at my mom?
Yeah.
About 16. I started laughing at my mom since I was very young.
Oh yeah.
Because whatever my dad does, I do, right?
Oh, so he's a jokester.
Well, my mom is a space cadet.
What is space cadet?
So my mom has this very strange personality. She's kind of like, out from outer space. Yeah. And there's some funny stories regarding that. I would love to share it.
Yeah, if you want to, where this is going.
So basically, suddenly my mic has gone very loud. So basically, right, my mom had a health crisis when she was younger. So when she was 12, I think she had some kind of a polio or some kind of a fever.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was kind of critical. So she was at the hospital bed so had this kind of fever. I don't know whether it's polio or something, right? Probably not polio.
Yeah, it's not polio. I know what is this.
But the doctor's instruction to her is don't move. If you move, you're going to die.
Don't move at all?
Yeah, don't move. Like, she was having high fever. So don't move. If you move, you're going to die.
Right.
And at that very point, right, that period of time, a bee came in the room and stung her head.
Wow, and?
That was the story. So my mom is kind of like a bit of a space cadet. She's like, and she grew up watching cartoon only because my grandmother was very protective. She was not allowed to watch any kind of TV, so she only grew up with Tom and Jerry. So she has this very unique personality. If you get to know my mom a little bit more, she's a character.
Yeah.
So I always think that bee gave her brain damage, or the bee was a manifestation of some kind of bodhisattva.
Body what?
Bodhisattva.
What is bodhisattva?
Bodhisattva is my favorite word. Bodhisattva, it's a term in Buddhism. So basically, bodhisattva has many meanings as well. Are we going like all over the place?
Yeah,
it's okay, right?
It's called conversation.
Yeah. So bodhisattva is my favorite word, and it's actually a terminology in Buddhism that describe one way of describing bodhisattva is describing a person that has committed his life to work for all sentient beings.
Okay.
So they call it Pusa or Bodhisattva.
Pusa.
Yeah, Pusa.
Yeah.
It's a actually very famous word in China because Buddhism flourished in China. And people know of this word, and I think Bodhisattva is always symbolized by a warrior. So you can actually take a Bodhisattva vow.
Bodhisattva vow?
Bodhisattva vow.
What is Bodhisattva vow?
Bodhisattva vow.
Or like a promise? Or
Yeah. So if you actually promise to the Buddhas, with the witness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you can take the Bodhisattva vow.
So you're saying there's a people who are already bodhisattvas?
Yeah.
All right.
Or aspiring bodhisattva as well.
Right.
So there are bodhisattvas who are enlightened beings, and there are people like an average Joe, like whoever, who is inspired by this wish of an aspiration to become a bodhisattva and vow in front of these witnesses to try your best to work for all beings. Yeah. So that's bodhisattva.
Yeah. Wow.
So there are great bodhisattvas like Manjushri, like
Manjushri.
Manjushri, it's a bodhisattva. It's the Buddha of wisdom. You see this statue with the sword? Yeah, so
I don't know.
That's Manjushri. Do you know Avalokiteshvara?
No.
Or Guan Yin?
No.
You know the female Buddha?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So
that's the reason we're talking because I wanna learn about this. Because I like the guy. I like the Buddha.
Yeah. So bodhisattva. This bodhisattva Guan Yin who's very famous in Asia. Basically, all the Buddha statues, a lot of them is this female Buddha. Her name is Avalokiteshvara. So Avalokiteshvara was originally male in India. When he or she went to China, her representation became a female. And she is a bodhisattva. She's a 10th Bhumi bodhisattva or enlightened Buddha or whatever.
So he was a guy from moved to India, to China.
No. I think she's a god, sort of like a goddess kind of thing.
All those. This is story, or this is based on the true story.
I don't have enough knowledge to go into this, but there is manifestations of these deities. It's a mixture between bodhisattvas, deities, and
what is deities? You're asking
I think
too many questions.
Too many. First of all, I'm not well versed enough in this subject to give you 100% answer.
We can always correct this later.
But okay, so when Buddha taught in, for example, the Heart Sutra.
Okay.
There's this sutra. You can see it everywhere in Asia. With form is emptiness, emptiness is form. No eye, no ear, no nose. It's a famous something called Heart Sutra, right? So when he taught this, all these bodhisattvas was there. So yeah.
Yeah, it's for me. It's so interesting because I grow up with in Poland. Poland is a heavy religious country. Was kind of semi-selected to be a priest when I was a kid.
Nice.
And then and so was going to a priest. To learn. They were sending me on the summer camps when I was in summer camp with my family, and then they selected my cousin. They didn't select. I was asking too many questions because there's a story people were telling me about Jesus. I cannot find a lot of information, but there is a period in Bible when it's just Jesus is just missing.
Yeah.
He's he's born, and it's nothing, and later he show up.
Yeah.
And there is a couple people and a couple stuff I was reading. They said he went
to India,
or to China, or this area here, and he experienced Buddhism.
Something like that. I mean, there's a lot of people that say Jesus was a bodhisattva. So from his compassion and the way you can sense his compassion, he's definitely, whether categorized by whoever, but the concept of bodhisattva is a sentient being who vows to work for all beings, including the cockroaches and ants and
it's anything.
So it's an infinite sentient beings.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So because Buddhism talks a lot about mind, talks a lot about non-duality. So they talk about infinite beings, infinite time, infinite space, infinite dimensions. So when you make a bodhisattva vow, you basically vow to work for all sentient beings until this whole thing is emptied of confused beings, something like that.
Wow. If somebody like me will not want to start to educate myself about what is this exactly? Because it's unique to understand because in the situation it's kind of like a language.
Yeah.
Because this is you from you or anybody else who is Buddhist. You are Buddhist, yeah.
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 The thing is, Buddha was never a Buddhist.
I know. Jesus was not Christian.
Exactly. So I think I like this path because I can ask a lot of questions, and because I grew up with the science background, remember? So I've been basically an atheist when I grew up.
But atheist it's a religious person also.
Yes, but I wouldn't say I'm an atheist, but I just believed in science.
Yeah,
I believe in what I observe.
Science exists.
And my interest in Buddhism really happened when one of my best friend's dad committed suicide.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And also when my mom passed me this book, right? So from there I started reading, and that actually is where because this question of death always, because I had loving parents, even when they had bad businesses, they were so loving to me. So I've always been very lucky. So when I was a kid, when I came back from school from England, I would party every day, meet my friends, walk around Hong Kong, play basketball, stay up till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But there would be a few restless nights that I would kind of just think to myself, I have such loving parents, and what happens when they die? Yeah. And I would go into this kind of like zone, like fear or whatever, like what happens when we die? Like, oh my God. But maybe after a couple of sleeps, I would get distracted and I'll play basketball.
You're a teenager, you just
I'll forget about that problem, so-called problem, of death and impermanence or whatever. So, but that particular period of time, my mom, I think, had already gotten into Herbalife business and also this Buddhism, right? And my dad and myself made fun of her, both the Buddhism and Herbalife. Yeah. Because my mom is this space cadet. Just now I told you, she loses a lot of things because I think because of her mental retardness. Just joking. Yeah. Because of the bee. Because of the bee. I'll tell you this story. My mom doesn't drink alcohol, but my mom has crashed the boat before.
Okay. Yeah. You told me one of the first times when I met her here. She was laughing.
Please do a podcast, maybe with my mom. I don't know. But
I'm doing the podcast for 100%. I'm doing podcast with your mom.
Yeah. So she's got this strange character that's sort of in her own world because of the bee and that kind of stuff. Because of the cartoons. But I really think the bee must have been very special. Because of that, she doesn't care about anything.
Yeah, it's we have those kind of moments of awakening, and it's whatever whatever doctors, I'm just making an assumption, tell her about don't move. Yeah. In their head, movement looks different. For her when she was like just
But what are the chances? A bee comes in and stings your head, and she's like, "Oh my God!"
And she cannot move.
And it's a real story.
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe there's something that's there's just element of the connections. Yes. Yeah, and so wow, so much information. I think so. I just need to meet your mom. Just talk about it. But so with all the stuff what you have, you just told me how you utilize this in your diet, in your nutrition, in your training,
Okay, so let's go back to the question about how I started getting into health. Yeah. So I've always been healthy when I was young. I was a good swimmer. And so my mom got into this whole Herbalife nutrition business, right? And because of her previous background, she was basically one of these Tai. You know what Tai is?
Yeah.
So she's got a driver. She's got her sisters. So her shop is in Central. So every day she would go to her driver. The driver would drive her to Central. She'll go into her shop, shoe shop. She'll flip her magazine, and she'll go home. She existed between her home and Central. She doesn't know how to take a bus. She doesn't know how to take a train. She was very protected.
But she's killing on Facebook.
Right now. Right now, yes.
Yes, exactly.
But back then, she was a very, very different character. She was basically just very spoiled. So that's the reason why me and my dad made fun of her. She wouldn't know how to take a bus, a mini bus. And when she joined Herbalife, she started taking the train to all parts of Hong Kong, to Taiwan, to Moon, and giving flyers on the street. All because of the family and for my education. And that's when I gained immense respect for my mom.
Yeah, mothers that are killers.
And, she went from of course, she doesn't born in a family that has a bank because my granddad died, but she could have had a bank,
Yeah.
But she went from running a business and to going on the streets and giving flyers.
Yeah.
And because at that time I was...
In the age of what? She was 41?
She was 47.
Yeah.
And that was during the late 90s.
Yeah.
Before 1997, maybe 95, 96, 97.
And you said the market crashed, she lost.
Yeah, around 98, something like that. And because I grew up in Hong Kong, I would go to Causeway Bay all the time. I worked in a comic shop, so I'm a street kid. I go to Causeway Bay, go to Wan Chai, I go buy computer games, I work at the computer shop. I worked part-time when I was 12, 13, 14. Yeah. So when my mom got into Herbalife, I just saw my mom is cool. She's giving flyers in the street, I love going to the street and just disturbing people. Hi. I would go to Times Square and be like, excuse me, where's Times Square? And me and my friends would do all this funny stuff, right? Yeah. So when my mom started going out to do all this giving out flyers, I just thought it was the coolest thing. Yeah. And that's when I started to know what Herbalife is all about. And the whole multi-level marketing, network marketing structure, free enterprise. Yeah. And that inspired me a lot. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just give me the product without the label. It's all about what is inside. This company is spending so much time on the time and money for the research. The people where they employed, that are not just regular people. Who are just looking for good money and cheap, elements. They're real scientists. They're Nobel Prize people. It's not like, okay, we're buying this and later in bulk and later we repackage and something like that. No. So just
So that happened. So when I graduated, I wanted to support my mom in her business, and I've always been very supportive because I see her working very hard, and I understood the business model. I thought, it's great. I saw a lot of people improving their health. I saw my mom helping a lot of people. And I told my friends about it. Yeah. I've been using the product myself. I used to be very, very overweight, and I never ate breakfast. And the program actually cleared up my skin and gave me energy. So that's when I started practicing some nutrition stuff, and my skin got better. Yeah. So
technically, right now you just kind of you just flow with the products what you are using. But for somebody who just wants to start the journey and will just contact you because of by the end of this we'll just exchange information. What would be what you would be first suggesting for you as a coach? What you would be suggesting for them? Like just say, okay, like right now, we have this COVID situation here in Hong Kong. A lot of people looking for an extra job. Maybe there's some type of connection, and at the same time, okay, I can do something good for myself. Meaning, be busy, but also be good because I can help myself as a human being and be healthier, or has somebody and they want to help them. So what would be the beginning for them? How will it look like? They come in here, they contact you. What you will tell them?
For me, to be honest, my mom gave me the program. So I'm not really particularly trained to sell anyone anything, but I can share my experience. So everything in this health stuff, I started learning from my mom. And the key concept she taught me was cellular nutrition. And basically the fact that most important is immunity, right? And because of the modern age, gut health is very, very important. We have a very colon inside our stomach. We have villi that are like finger-like creatures, finger-like structure. And because we eat sugar, salt, too much sugar, too much salt, and too much stress, you have a lot of gunk in your intestinal wall. So when you have all this gunk, even if you eat the best stuff, you're not absorbing. And later on, I've been reading a lot of books like Colon Health, System of Health Engineering. It talks about auto-intoxication.
Yeah.
So when you have all this gunk, when your immunity is low, this dirt will attack your body.
Yeah.
This bacteria. Because if you put food here, you don't put it in the fridge, it will moldy, right?
Yeah.
And if inside your stomach, which is lots of sugar, 37 degrees, you're going to get all this bacteria. And the moment immunity is low, you hear people in the last stage of cancer, last stage of whatever disease, when your immunity is low in the hospital, you get all this. You might be suffering from COVID right now, but maybe you die because of complication. The moment your immunity is attacked, all this, if you don't look after your body, your immunity is low, and so really important. You want to boost your immunity. Yeah. And drinking water is key. Having
so you would suggest the water.
Water, and adding things to your water that would help you speed up this kind of cleansing would be not a bad place to start.
Usually you're doing any type of like consultation with people?
Yeah.
And then they're paid consultations?
No, we have free consultations.
Usually how long it takes, something like that?
20 minutes to half an hour to an hour.
Do you feel like people sometimes taking advantage of somebody like you with this kind of knowledge, and they're just sniffing for the...
I don't really think about these things, no.
Yeah. Because you are a bodhisattva, so you just...
No,
all human beings.
I'm aspiring bodhisattva.
Aspiring. Yeah, I remember you and at bug. There was one of those elements.
Yeah.
When you see the bug,
that's mainly because, it's more like a fear.
Oh, it's for those people who will just listen to this. So what happened a couple of days ago, Chris just like, go out to the kitchen, get the stuff, the paper and the cup, and because I'm like, what the hell? So I was running, I found this cup with the paper, I'm bringing to him, and he was just catching a bug, a tiny bug, and scheduled with the cup, and just brought the paper under, gently moved bug outside.
Yeah. Because what goes around comes around, right? Yeah. So I'm more afraid if I killed it. I'm more afraid of that, like not afraid, but like I've been brainwashed to believe that.
Oh, okay. So
not to kill,
not to harm, not to kill. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because for me it's kind of similar. For me, was explained like my grandma. She was a kind of like a white witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love magic. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was doing this on the base of the like how she was teaching people around them about life, but really like a really simple words. She was a simple woman, village in Poland, not really educated, but have an understanding of plants. So she was doing a lot of stuff for the plant. Like, you are sad. Oh, just drink this. You have pain here. Oh, drink this.
Nice.
Oh, it's just for everything she has something. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, I think so. One of the funny stuff was when you have some type of pain, like in this area on the back of the head and shoulders, and your eyes hurts, use socks.
Socks.
So you take off the socks from your feet and you just rub like on.
It has to be fresh socks or dirty socks?
Used. Used. That's the point.
Interesting.
I'm like, wow.
Have you tried it?
They did it to me when I was a kid a couple of times. Yeah, I'm a kid. I'm like, I'm here. I was like, no. And it's like, and they're spitting like next to each other on your face. I'm like, not on the face, like on the left and right side. I'm like, when you're a kid, you don't know. You just do what the adults show you to do, or they're just doing on you. And then so later, it was a couple of situations. My mom, when she saw something like that, my grandma was doing, she said, "Oh, this is my son. Don't do this kind of stuff." So like, yeah. With the stuff where we talk about Buddhism and nutrition, your diet, and you mentioned your mom as a kind of a model for you.
Yes.
And you mentioned the people in the Buddhism as the models for you. Do you have any like anybody who might be you wanna present, like who's your like a model, influencer, somebody who not really you are looking into, but it's represents something where you respect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my mom is someone I respect. Obviously, there's my teacher, who taught me about teaches me everything about Buddhism, which I follow and study. Some teacher who was alive in the 60s, 70s, who already passed away. I read his books a lot. So these people are my role models. Are you asking about role models? Right?
Yeah, the role model because
People that
mentors. Do you have still like a daily, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, monthly, yearly mentors? Why I'm asking these questions to my guests, it's of introducing the element of the mentorship because it's something what I think people don't utilize enough, for their personal growth. Yeah.
So yeah, I would say I don't really have any kind of business mentor or personal growth mentor. I guess my mentor is Buddha Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni. I can't even pronounce it. but the Buddha, and of course my teacher who explains the Buddha's teachings, and there's just so much over there that I don't have any other mentors because I find that very profound and that's definitely.
What about a business on the business level?
No, I just follow what the Bodhisattva principles. I personally think, actually, this is a core belief of mine. The Bodhisattva principle of the Bodhisattva, the mind of the Bodhisattva. That's one practice. Is better than any business advice. Yeah.
Wow.
All you have to do. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just the moment you tune your motivation to make sure whatever you're doing, and you hope that can benefit all beings from. You don't help them. It's not a worldly help. You're not trying to help them, and so they're not sad.
Yeah, exactly.
You're wishing them to be free from. Okay, so this is 4 immeasurable thoughts. So, may all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings have joy. May all beings be free from extremes. So this is a very standard prayer in a way. It's called the 4 immeasurables. 4 things you can't really measure. Because
you cannot measure.
You cannot measure because sentient beings.
So you said happiness.
Yeah, may all beings have happiness. And the causes of happiness.
Okay.
May all beings be free from suffering and free from the causes of suffering. May all beings have joy and may all beings be free from extremes.
Oh, have joys.
Have joy.
Have joy. And what was the 4th one?
May all beings be free from extreme.
Free from extreme?
Yeah.
What is extreme in this situation?
If you believe this exists, you are being extreme. If you believe that this does not exist, you're falling into another extreme.
Oh, wow.
So the main extremes in our human existence, it's the extreme of theistic and nihilistic.
Yeah.
So these are extremes.
Yeah.
So the whole Buddha's path is all about the path of the middle way, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So you're basically wishing all sentient beings to be liberated, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know, it's really the same, but I remember I was like obsessed with the Nikola Tesla, and then this kind of belief what he had, and elements of the energy.
Tell me more.
So you have in physics you have situation when you can have a space of the object when it exists and doesn't exist at the same time, and also can move. So this is what they say about it when you see the UFO, when they can move so fast because they have their own existence of the energy and
it's probability.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only how much is probable here.
Yeah, and it's not because there is no, because something is pushing you and something you're pushing you in or away.
Yeah.
With this your description, what you were saying, it says you just don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. You just want to be on this path between.
Yeah. But even that is just still an idea. But for now, it's okay, right? It's something like that.
What's the U.S. Constitution? It's about a happiness. What else? Freedom. What else about a U.S. Constitution? Bill of Rights.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, I need to check this because if this is the same,
I would think it's not the same because the way this.
No, they remove something. If they will have this, there will be better country right now.
It's because the way they define the happiness might be different.
How do you define happiness?
Yeah, that's another study.
Oh my God, does need to be separate. We need to open like a separate podcast, and we can just talk about this.
Sure.
Yeah. All of this stuff, what you're saying, it's wow, it's amazing. But it's if how you see getting experience important in your life, and then for example in the team where you are building, because you have team of people who are working with you on the local market, like here in Hong Kong, local meaning also Southeast Asia, but you have also people on every continent.
Yeah.
Every continent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So hi to all of those people. Yeah. How you teaching them element of the experience?
To be honest, I don't teach them anything. No, I mean I'm like not their mentor. I mean, I guess I am kind of the mentor. I got them involved in the business, but I don't teach them anything. They do their own thing. Okay. Yeah. So we have a culture in our team because I mostly work with my friends and all that, like really close friends. So yeah, I don't teach them anything.
But even when you mentioned you guys have a culture, would this culture have some type of structure, or this is just?
No, I went to boarding school, so I grew up with 60 boys in the boarding school. In my year, there's 12 boys.
Wow, so much testosterone.
Yeah, so it's very much about having fun, brotherhood, and friends and all that. So my mom got me into the business, so I don't really see it as a business because there's no boss, right? Because in network marketing,
you are the boss.
Yeah, you just basically
customer is the boss.
Yeah, I use the product and I wear the brand and I talk to people. That's how the business is built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's you have a product also, the app we are building.
Yeah, I'm building an app.
Yeah.
So my goal is so that to facilitate.
Yeah.
Like for me, Herbalife is not really about me teaching anybody anything. It's just strictly a business. Good product. We set a team culture to focus on helping customer get results, operate in the highest standards. I guess act as a friend, and I facilitate everyone to do better business. And that's why I make an app for my team to use. Yeah. I make their life easier. I see some pain points in the business and I fix them. I try and make everything more systematic, remove all the things that I think is sort of old habits, and that's
so if somebody will ask you about, okay, dude, I have a situation, I have this team of people on different continents. They also doing something in the space of health and wellness and fitness. Do you using any specific type of tools to communicate with them, or just with your team? Or like if you will just say, dude, I cannot communicate with my team, like I have some type of problems. What if?
So you're saying if a team members come to me?
No, somebody from outside. From outside, and he wants to match himself to you. Meaning, it's like, okay, this is what I'm doing. My business. I have the distributors of my product. in a bunch of different countries, but I cannot. I have problems all the time to manage them.
Got it.
Yeah.
First of all, that person might not be in the same situation as me. He might be running a traditional business, which I have zero experience of how to run a traditional business, and I cannot help him at all.
They don't like that. For example, work. Okay, so let's just bring the even closer. They are in the same business model.
Okay, so they work in, let's say, another company that's in network marketing, health product.
Yeah.
We might not have the same compensation system.
Okay, so just remove this element where it's separate. Just the element of like they are, because they're doing something similar, not in 100%, but in some element.
So maybe basically something like they are playing basketball and playing football. Because the rules are all different, like
you guys both playing basketball. You play for NBA. He plays for WNBA.
But that's both basketball.
Yeah.
But so unless you're telling me, that person works with the same company as me, then it's like that. If they're a different company, I cannot give them all the advice, but I could give some advice. But so what is that question again?
So the question is if you're using any specific type of tools to communicate with your team. Do you for example, how much time you're spending with them, because it's with all of those like multi-level marketing companies, usually the success is of, how much you putting the physical work to make things happen, how many clients you will help, but also if you have, some team members in your team who are in some way similar to your own success, so you have those kind of, I call those stars, those kind of people who like you select them, you found them, but do you believe it's possible to teach them and train them?
Okay, so I would attribute my success purely because of the company's philosophy. So in this type of business, network marketing, whatever, using a system is very important. Keeping it simple is very important. And one of the main thing that is important is, it must be driven prime, like the foundation of the drive must be the product and the effects of the product, because when you have no product, whatever you're doing, you have no business. So I guess I think
there's so many people selling without product.
Yeah, that's the problem in the industry too, right?
But it's just what is it like? What is this right now? They've life coach. No, some people say life coaching is kind of like a hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jason. I'm 17 years old, and this is my life coach booklet. Like, come on, man, you're 17.
I think So first of all, choosing the right company, no matter. Okay, I think I got the gist of your question. Like, let's not put it as any industry, but I think choosing your industry is very, very important. If you are a youngster today, 16, 17, 18, just graduating, you want to spend your time in an industry that's growing. That's why I chose health and fitness, health, nutrition, and fitness, right?
Not in the beginning, you chose the computer science.
That was schooling.
Yeah, schooling.
Because I could pass. Nothing else I could pass. Because
really?
computer science, you can copy and paste. So you can cheat. And I'm good at cheating.
Don't say that. No, it's not that. I was studying computer science. It's not copy paste, dude. It's not.
It's not. But at the same time.
Yeah, it's copy paste from the book and understanding the knowledge and the implementing in the code. You did coding.
I did coding, yes.
Yeah, you need to remember.
But I don't like coding that much.
I hate it, man. I just hate it.
I'll tell you this, right? Yeah. So there's this class in my computer science thing, and I did something very, very interesting. So the first class, we programmed Tetris, basically. So I did it in you're supposed to have 6 months to do it. I did it in all the last week. I always leave everything to the last minute.
Are you saying you're a procrastinator?
I am a procrastinator and I'm a crammer. Cramming,
okay.
Like, if I have an exam, I would study the last 2 days. I would just so I'm goal orientated. So all I care is I pass or I get the grade I want to get. I wasn't really that passionate for that thing because there was no practical use. So I never really liked school.
Did you use the same philosophy when you were swimming?
Swimming, I was just, for some reason, because I was fat, I was floating. So I was good at it.
But you jump into the water, you're doing 400 meters, you don't speed up on the end, you're just going from the beginning.
Oh no, I was just naturally good at swimming compared to my friends. That's all. That was nothing to do with me.
I can see this. Sure. Yeah, because it's kind of like the element of the procrastination is just something that's unique to I think to any business, to anything, you know. So
I think I just never really had the passion about getting good grades. But I needed to get it done. That's why I delay and delay. My passion was making friends, so hang out with friends. So I did that, meeting girls in university.
You select the school because your friends went to the school also, or like what
the university?
Yeah.
I selected it because some girl went there.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I remember you told me the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me the story.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, because in the UK there wasn't many pretty-looking Asian girls back then. So I didn't want to. And you know, in Hong Kong, you know, like all the people, they are very pro-US. They're like, oh, America is so great, you know.
Yeah.
And that made me go to US. But actually, I ended up, you know, appreciating UK a lot more. You know, I like the UK. I made such good friends.
Oh, the same was in Poland. Like, but one was East Bloc still. You know, America's. It's, you know, what is America? It's a country, right? But America is a people. You know, at the time, you know, because we are in the same kind of age. It's of you know, word propaganda is not a proper propaganda, but it was because we watched America. We watched America, you know, magazines, you know, news, movies, everything like that. So we just grow up with this understanding. Oh, there is this land over there, and, and things can happen. You know, for us, if you wanna, whatever we have, anybody has in their minds, you know. And it
was promoted.
Yeah.
America is marketed and promoted very well.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's bad, but I just like when I got there, I realized that I actually loved the UK and the humor, the real, genuine, you know, like they don't like you, but you have to toughen up. And I just find that very exciting.
Because they have Irish people.
Yeah.
I have a meeting today with a friend of mine. He's Irish, and he told me like a little bit his history about the country. And it's one of the stories he told me was when Romans, you know, was taking over Europe and they reached Ireland. They're like, oh, no way, we're done. They did this. They need to put a wall against the whole country, because those people was just so like, you don't go in here, you don't take in our land. No way, we'll eat you.
They're tough people.
All the like system in the Navy, I think so, Navy, he said, or Army or something. All the assassin systems, blah blah blah, not including it's Japanese or you know, those kind of systems. It's come from the small country of those killers.
I mean, like I think I was told that why the school that I went to has this bullying culture. Like everyone is beating up everyone, basically.
Oh, so did you experience bullying?
Yeah, but I didn't see it as bullying. I just saw it as like, you just like people beating up people, and I loved it. You know, like
what?
Yeah.
Tell this to anybody who will experience bullying.
Yeah, but it's nothing personal. It's just
how. So you.
No, I was lucky.
Yeah.
Because they just renovated the place before I got there. So the year before I got there, they were still in the old decoration, basically. So basically, this is my bed. If you go to the bed, people can climb in.
Yeah.
They would just throw cakes and stuff like that. But when I got there, it was brand new renovation. So the bullying definitely toned down.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bullying. Like, I love all the people there. But you had to be mentally tough a little bit.
Yeah.
In order to find it fun, because you know I found it really fun, and
you
learn how to protect
somebody
yourself.
is a bully and they attack you, and you just like with this kind of ta-da! Are you wanna play with me? Yeah.
No, you know, I was a bit of not bully, but I was the naughty one in Hong Kong too. So Basically, it's just very naughty.
Yeah.
And the more you think people are
When you say
bullying you,
naughty, what is your definition of naughty? 'Cause maybe you have
naughty is like
different.
in Chinese, there's another word for naughty called 顽皮. You just
顽皮.
basically like to play, like to break things, like to
Oh,
that kind of naughty.
this kind of experimental by
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't tell me. I was trying to discover what is the I was at home. I decided to do reproduction of World War II when I was a kid, and it's so I was doing different stuff. And then one day I decided, like, you know what's missing? Fire. I want something, and I decided to have like this bunch of planes, paper planes,
Yeah.
and just put in the fire and just do this, throwing them. Yeah.
Okay, so the next Mid-Autumn Festival, we're gonna try this activity. Do you know in Hong Kong and in China, they have this game called boiling wax.
No, is that...
You take the mooncake box,
Okay.
and you can boil the wax, and you can start some really big fires. I think it's illegal now, but we should try it for fun.
What? I need to.
Yeah, basically you take the mooncake box. It's a Hong Kong game, basically.
Yeah.
For kids. You go to an empty field, whatever, and you put the mooncake box and you put it on top of each other. You put wax, and you burn some newspaper below, and you're boiling the wax. And if you spit there, the fire will go.
Oh yeah, we are doing this so in Poland when you have this is the date when you celebrate the dead people.
Yeah.
They have in Mexico also.
Yeah.
In Judah.
How do you call it in Mexico in Spanish?
Dia
de Muertos.
I know. It's
I love Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead. Their understanding is different. Catholic is different. Jewish is different. Christian is different. But we as a kids, because candles. They putting all bunch
it's like
of candles.
Halloween, right?
Yeah, and we're just running and we're just like spitting to death. Boom, and it was exploding because you have glass.
Yeah.
Inside we have the wax.
Yeah.
And you just spit and just boom. There was a couple of situations like the friends of mine just got hit by the glass.
Yeah. No glass, but we'll do the.
Yeah.
It might be illegal, but bola. It's called bola.
We know. Yeah. How it's called?
Bola.
Bola.
Bola. Boil wax. La is
Wow.
This podcast has just gone everywhere.
Yeah, it's been everywhere because of something like what's kind of reminding of another element I always ask everybody. It's an element of gratitude.
Yeah.
Are you practicing something there? Because this is kind of like helped me after the problems with the market crash in States when I live, and later I have some problems with my relation. The element of the gratitude,
To be honest, I'm not a very grateful person. I'm a very selfish, I just focus on myself a lot, which might not necessarily be a good thing. But I hope that whole bodhisattva attitude would fill the gap.
Everything what you just said, I didn't expect this kind of answer.
Yeah, because, I'm very selfish and I'm very goal-orientated.
Selfish in
So
which
I
way?
practice gratitude a little bit. In Buddhism, they call it rejoicing.
Rejoicing.
Rejoicing. Yeah, so it's actually an antidote for jealousy. So if you are jealous, you see someone jealous, you would rejoice. You would think, okay, this person is experiencing this wealth because they must have done a lot of good deeds in their past life. And then you just say, may he have happiness and the cause of happiness. May he be free from suffering, causes of. So that's kind of like a gratitude.
Yeah.
You wishing that other person happy. But I have tremendous gratitude of for my mother and the people that have helped me. No, I definitely have gratitude.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes I'm a bit cold, in that sense as well. So I have gratitude. I think I have gratitude.
Maybe the word they call the word "cold" we just said, it sounds better than that selfish. Because selfish is so strong, I think.
but I think
try to sell to somebody. Oh, dude, you are so selfish.
Okay, so this is a very interesting point I want to talk about. I think my teacher wrote this book called Not for Happiness.
Not for happiness.
Not for Happiness.
Yeah.
And I think it's in the similar kind of. I think I would kind of guess because I don't know. I'm not like he's very very great, but I think it's kind of to make a point whereby what is commercialized, especially by like just now we spoke about America, how America is very good at sending out this message. So I think in this world right now, especially with spirituality, with health, people are sending this kind of message about happiness.
Yes, but look at Instagram, dude.
I think gratitude is also the reason. I think partly because I also categorize this practicing gratitude in this category as well. And I think what is more important, what Buddha taught, that we're all selfish, and I think people don't realize that. People think they are so grateful, and they are actually hiding this. Oh, so this book. I think this book is my cousin. You know the Gin Hong, right? So Gin gave me this book. He gave me this book.
So he's here in Hong Kong.
Yes. So this book, the title is actually Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. And this writer, Trungam Trungpa, is my hero. I freaking love Trungam Trungpa. I've never met him because he passed away in the 70s or early 80s.
He's related to Trump?
No. But I think, but I think to know that we are all selfish is very, very important because we are trying to hide this selfishness with other words.
With this one, I totally agree. I was asking about a gratitude because it's kind of something would have helped me to change something when I add the gratitude element of repeating to myself what I'm repeating myself. I'm grateful. Just like some people they say, "Oh man, I was so lucky," or like for example, if not saying enough thank you to just people around us, those kind of stuff. So it's for example, I have this routine when I just remind myself, I'm grateful. For example, Chris, I'm so grateful. We met, we talked, something like that. So with this element of using the word gratitude, I'm just adjusting myself to something what you mentioned, like just stay on this mind line where I think it's good. And me staying on this line to doing gratitude is I'm selfish doing it for myself. Yeah, something like that.
So I would like to answer your question differently. I think I'm an extremely grateful person because of various things. So I'll tell you this story. So when I was young, my mom was a businesswoman in the shoe business. Yeah. So she actually went to Europe a lot to do for buying trips. They would buy shoes from Europe, brands before all this Chanel and Chanel was already around.
Shopify.
before Monono Belnick.
Monica Bellucci?
No. Monono Bellic. Some brand.
Actress?
No, it's a shoe brand.
Oh, shoe brand.
Monono something. If you have enough female friends, you will know. Monono Belnick or Balenciaga, all that stuff.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So my mom used to be in this industry. She'll go to Europe to buy shoes. And my mom and my dad would go for 1 month.
Wow.
And I had this alone time. And I would miss him so much, right?
So how old you are at the time?
From 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Okay. And when they stopped going to...
Until I was 16.
Oh, 16, okay.
So I had this helper. Her name is Sam Jie. And I had extreme gratitude for her. And I have a great respect for females, motherly energy, women energy.
Yeah, because you got a good one.
Yeah, my mom is amazing, but who is more amazing to me? It's this helper or samje.
Yeah.
And to me, she is the Buddha or Bodhisattva or manifestation of whatever being. Like she is for me like so grateful for her. I would cry. So what happened was, she's from China. She went through the Cultural Revolution, so she was made to do a lot of mud work. So basically, she was my helper, and she looked after me when I was young. She was very kind. And one day I remembered, like I loved table tennis when I was young, and I was recording some match, and I think accidentally she pressed the stop recording, and I was just being such a spoiled kid, and I threw a fit. I was like, but I think what happened was she made me a styrofoam house with a drawing and everything. She made me a house, and I was just crying. She just gave me so much compassion, so much love, and I think one day when I was about 3 or 4, she didn't come out of her room, and my mom knocked, and then when my mom opened the door, she was on the floor, and she was like this, and she basically developed a very strong form of arthritis. Wow. So her fingers would be bent, swollen joints and all that. So, and me as a kid, I just...
genetically. This is most genetically.
At the same time, A, genetic, but secondly, because when she dug the mud, all the moisture would seep into the bones. So if you don't detox it out or whatever, you... But anyway... So when she left, I just kept crying. I'll cry nonstop, because she couldn't work as a maid anymore. She just said to my mom, "Low Tai, I cannot work anymore." And I was just basically, like you had someone you love taken away from you, right? So I had this basically this whole, every time I see her, I would just cry. When I came back from university or every year I would visit her, right? Every time I go to her home, I would just cry.
But she was not working with you guys anymore.
No. But every time...
But you still visit her.
Yeah. But every time I leave her, I would cry. Just uncontrollably, I'd cry. And I would feel all this compassion. Like this... I would kind of feel this feeling of love that is so selfless. Yeah. You experience love that is selfless, and you just couldn't help but just like cry nonstop. Yeah. So yes, so I think that actually reminded me of gratitude. So I never really take people for granted in that way. Yeah, I'm very grateful. Yeah, for sure. So
because bodhisattvas practice gratitude. I don't know.
No, bodhisattvas just...
No, why I'm asking this because it's...
I mean, there's just... See, every word can be interpreted differently.
Oh, don't tell me this. This is always that was my problem, because when I grow up in my household, everything was controlled by communist government at the time. I was born in '79. Communist system was abolished in 89. Constitution of Poland was in 91. So 13 years old when Poland became once again a free country. Like before World War II was a free country. After World War II, we became communistic, and so as a lineage of my family, they know what is knowledge and what is freedom. So this is especially from this Jewish side. And then from that side, when there are more like those Cossacks, Ukraine, and they understanding what is exactly work in the field. Those putting this, this cultural revolution elements of like going deep for the building your own food. But the element was the book where we could afford. My dad bought. He just bought the best and the biggest encyclopedia at the time as was available. So we have a bunch of medical books because my mom, she's in the medical field, and it's just this ginormous encyclopedias. So I was a kid. I was just going and was just like reading every word
Yeah,
of
really
encyclopedia, everything. So my head is just like I see right now. It's not like, but when I was a kid, every word I saw already, like, okay, I know exactly what it means. Like
nice.
my explanation of the word was like, oh, yeah, I know exactly. And I was reading this, yeah.
Nice.
So sometimes I have conflict with people when they use the word, because especially, but English is my second language. So on the beginning when I was learning English, it was just like you speak in thinking in Polish and translate it exactly to English.
Yeah.
But now it's just the words just flow.
Yeah.
But the words there with this Polish, with this encyclopedia from the description, so people are saying sometimes the words, and I'm like, oh shit, this is exactly what he's thinking, or this is this, like, you know.
But that's the great thing about words is that everybody's definition of a word is a little different. You know,
Yeah.
you have to really research this word. What is exactly the definition? Otherwise, you miscommunicate.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not grateful, but I am grateful. Like there's so many aspects to things. You cannot just like have one solution.
If you have, because I don't want to take too much time of yours, it's if you have an opportunity to, for example, because do you think it would be better for everybody if there was a more bodhisattvas around us?
It would be better that if people know about bodhicitta. So bodhicitta and bodhisattva is a similar thing. So bodhicitta is like bodhisattva is the person. Bodhicitta is the mind heart. Is the mind heart. It's like the enlightened mind. It's called bodhicitta. So everyone has the potential of developing bodhicitta. But right now they're just confused in a way whereby they think they need to protect the self. But I'm not explaining it well, but you know, I can go on forever and try and explain all this stuff. But I think the concept of bodhicitta, if everybody knew about it, it's gonna change the world.
Yeah. If you get like the question is, it's if you get an opportunity to spread the message to billions of people, you know, in the form of, it can be some type of billboard, some type of maybe ad, whatever people individually see. If you get a chance to put something in words on this kind of billboard so the people can read, what kind of sentence you will put on it?
I haven't really thought about this, and not really sure it would work, because that sounds like, you know, just it's not really attacking the root cause. It's just shoving an idea and marketing something like Coca-Cola, you know. But the real thing, you know, I think needs a little bit of, you know, time to.
So you want to say it just would be plain billboard and maybe just kind of like a fly, or the bee flying?
I don't know, man. I'm not very smart or anything like that. I mean,
so what do you
maybe just an image of the Buddha. That's good enough. I think that's.
Yeah. So what is the image of Buddha?
It doesn't matter. I mean, like, you know, the traditional one where people know about. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Just I think that. You know, I think all this stuff I'm telling you, nothing comes from me, right? I learned it from my teacher. And I think he said this, right? He said a few things that I could relate to just now. He said, if the president of the United States had just a little bit of information about bodhicitta or bodhicitta, that would be great. The world, you see a difference in the world.
Yeah.
And another thing he said recently was just like if people kind of looked at the Buddha statue or hear about Shakyamuni and Buddhist Shakyamuni, and they think, oh, I kind of like this guy. That's good enough. You don't need to do any meditation.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, you appreciate what this guy talked about.
Yeah.
That's enough. Like,
you know.
It's
a, you know, some people don't. Some people do believe in the in butterfly effect.
Yeah.
You know, so this is kind of like a kind of similar. You know, to kind of combine into what we were talking about and bring back to element of the health, fitness, wellness,
Yes,
and
yes.
and element of the mind. I how you see yourself in this situation right now after 2020 was really tough for everybody, you know. What kind of elements of the personal success with the health and fitness uh, you see for somebody else, and elements of the mind? Because like we said on the beginning, nutrition it's 70%. Gym it's even if in the front of your your office you shall have this
80-20.
yeah 80-20.
80-20,
What is the
70-30.
mind? What is the mind in all of this? Or all of this need to be changed?
I
Maybe it's
think,
time to just change for this.
huh?
Maybe it's time to just change the front and add the element of mind.
Sure. Anything. I'm not too caught up with the numbers and whatever. I think the good thing about having this background in terms of spirituality or meditation or Buddhism, whatever, is that it reminds you that we're all dying.
Yeah.
So health is it's just a very it's just the concept that we're all chasing. It's not really that real. My mom and dad will die. And nothing is forever. Anti-aging, you're still aging.
Yeah.
And everything that happened to us is due to cause, condition, and effect. Karma, whatever you want to call it. It's just like from your previous, So of course now you have been given this life, not given this life, but you've living this life. You want to live as healthily as possible to do whatever you want to do. So again, I have to go back to this.
Yeah.
I have to go back to this whole Buddhism thing because I'm a bit of a Buddhist freak.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound religious or whatever, but I just am. Like, I'm not religious, but I'm just really into this stuff. But basically,
Yeah, the symptom, like I'm the same with similar elements too. It's everybody just talking about, okay, I'm going to go all the fitness, genes, genetics, and the fitness, and
so good point about the mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Buddhism, the mind. I don't even remember all this stuff correctly, but the mind basically continues after your physical body dies.
Yeah.
And there's something called...
What was again? The mind?
The mind will keep going when your body is... Let's say after I die, but my mind wouldn't just stop. It wouldn't be blank.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they believe. The mind, The mind is... So to see, mind in the science perspective and in the Buddhist perspective is defined differently. So we need to communicate all these words very well. Otherwise, what do you think mind, body, Is mind just like,
wow, so now I totally selection of my topic, my subject. It's I just technically sabotage myself without yeah, so okay. Now
yeah, so mind, I love mind, but mind, I believe in past life, this life, the next life, because, after I die, however healthy I am, if I don't practice this life, next life I might become a dog.
So can we narrow down and tell to people, like, because what I was trying always inform anybody I was helping with the health journey or the fitness journey, anything like that, everything starts in your mind first, in your head. It's those elements of 80-20 with the nutrition and the fitness
mindset.
Yeah,
whatever.
mindset. It's everything started with something in your head on the beginning, and it's do you have any tricks for people who have this struggle to make this mental mindset to put themselves in a success regarding the body transformation, health transformation, business transformation?
Yeah.
Because you got conditioned and you are who you are because your environment, but not everybody is like you.
Right.
But at the same time, you see outside, you see your team. Not everybody in your team is they have the same structure of the beliefs. You know,
for me, right? I think health and all this stuff is actually not that useful if you don't consider this mind. If you don't know your mind, so what if you live till 100? Still gonna die. And if you don't know your mind, when you die, in my belief, what if you become a cockroach?
Yeah.
There's a saying that in order to be born as a human being, it's like there's a piece of wood floating on the sea. A great Buddhist meditator master said this, right? It's like there's this piece of wood floating on the sea, and there's a little hole in the piece of wood, and there's this turtle that goes up to the ocean once every gazillion eons, like so long. To become a human being, it's like you have this turtle just going up and this piece of wood floating. The turtle just kind of like goes through this hole. So to be a human is so rare.
Yeah.
If you think about the amount of ants, just in this, when you go walking, you just be shocked how many number of ants there are. And if you think about your consciousness taking this body, and when you die, the chance of it taking form as another human with such comfort, you can't guarantee. You know, how you know, if you're born in Afghanistan or even just say Pakistan, you're living in a war zone. So to be this lucky I believe the world is fair. So the only reason why we have this thing must be because of our previous actions. So this is how I see karma. You know, like.
So how explain bad people? Only it doesn't matter because that's still people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're just messing up in this situation that right now.
They just everything is habit, but your habit doesn't born from this life. You see a lot of people talk about I gotta find why you have this kind of emotion. I want to trace back to when you're 3 years old. Your mom.
Yeah.
But
I find that I have a psychologist. Yeah.
Yeah, I find that kind of psychology kind of stuff just like this kind of like. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm a bit arrogant. Like the thing is, the Buddha talks about countless lifetimes of habits. That's why I'm afraid to kill a little ant or cockroach or whatever, because that cause can hit you back in the ass, like why did somebody?
So you saying you live in fear?
I definitely live in fear of some. They call it samsara.
Samsara. Okay.
Samsara is this cyclic existence of birth and death, like this unending cyclic existence. You become a human being, you die, next life, like you're just constantly getting reborn.
Okay.
And suffering.
So this is bad.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking so much stuff. I don't know how. Yeah, so you don't. I personally, if you observe the world, everybody is suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. Trump, he's suffering. Like if you really try, if you're Trump's daughter, and if you've witnessed as a close family member why he is depressed that he didn't win, you would feel sad for him. Everybody
just making assumptions. We don't know.
No, but basically, the Buddha taught that everybody has this compassion. No, wait. There's another thing. They call it the mother sentient beings.
Okay.
So this concept is like every being, the ant, the beggar you see on the street, in these infinite lives, they have been your mother in your past life.
Yeah. So this is exactly wow.
Yeah.
This is When you was talking with my teachers, like physics teachers, and we were talking about infinity.
Yeah.
And
Infinity. Yeah.
infinity.
Basically, Buddha is the best teacher to teach infinity.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
infinity too. And it was saying like, if you can imagine it, there is a you now, and it's everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, and you multiply this for this moment, what it's right now, by dimensions that are for infinite dimensions in all infinite possible dimensions.
Yeah.
It's just
So infinite dimensions.
through infinity.
Yeah.
So it's not only up, down, left, right.
Squared,
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
not. It's just the same
Booms.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus additionally adding the time element.
So people call that the universe.
Yeah. So there's right now in this moment, there is a my version somewhere. Yeah. And your version, something like that in this.
Something like
yeah.
that, right?
Wow.
So in the whole, some of these teachings from the Buddha, some of them are to be taken literally. Some is to be taken. So there's the ultimate and the relative. So there is the placebo teachings and there's the ultimate teachings. So one unique thing about Buddhism is that both these teachings are equally as important and they exist together, something like that. So basically one of the relative teaching is like, all beings. So this is the bodhisattva training, right? It's like, Matt, you've been reborn again and again and again. And your enemies, even your enemies, they are your loving mother's past life. And supposedly you're supposed to meditate like that and train in order to really learn and to develop more gratitude to your enemies. So that's called the bodhisattva training. There's this book called The Way of the Bodhisattva. 9 chapters. Wow. By this.
You finished?
Huh?
Yeah.
I haven't finished it. It's written in a poetic form.
Okay.
It's written by this Indian saint called Shantideva. Oh, Shantideva. So the 9th chapter is called Wisdom. I haven't really read through the whole thing, but it's so beautiful. It teaches you. It's such a beautiful book. The Way of the Bodhisattva. So basically, it's like the book.
So look at a lot of this kind of education and knowledge we have. You're telling me, and experiencing this kind of joy came from books. Yes.
Yes. I never read books when I was young because I'm like you. You asked me just now if when I went to England did I experience a cultural shock? Yes. I didn't understand a word people were saying. It's like it just sounded very different from the English I was learning as a kid. And actually, nutrition actually helped me develop my brain a lot. But, set aside that. When I was a young kid, I never paid attention at school. I was always very distracted,
Like your mother.
Yes, but I think nutrition actually helped,
Yeah.
But going back to that thing is, I never read any books. My English teacher told us in UK, he's just really like.
So how old are you when you came to UK?
13.
13. And you didn't.
My English was poor.
Yeah, but you didn't read any books and like that?
No.
But you said the
played.
comics books, yeah?
Only comic books.
Oh, comics books.
Like Slam Dunk, Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of stories and what are you reading something, yeah. But it's not
not English.
Not English.
It was Chinese, right? So when I went to school, I didn't understand English. I didn't really have an interest in Shakespeare. Like so boring, OT farty. So one day my English teacher told me, tomorrow we're going to donate some books to the local library. So please bring your favorite book. So I actually brought this book called Adrian Moore and the Secret Diary. So that is written by an American, right? So my English teacher was British, right? So he looked at this book and he threw it out the window in front of the whole class.
Wow.
And I just did not know.
That's a bully.
Yeah. But I don't care, to be honest. Like,
But do you have some reactions? Like,
I was sad. I was like, that's why I had fear in writing. I'm not good in writing.
Yeah.
There's a big fear in writing. But actually last week, I actually told myself, I think I'm going to learn how to write properly because I've always been avoiding writing. Like I do this whole business without writing any marketing materials.
Wow, you just told me something what was like just personally as
He
a
threw it out the window.
it's
Partner?
like a business partner in some way. We are. It's your fear about writing, and I was like, what's going on with Chris? Like, I'm trying to do this, and it's like I don't see this. Like it's not connecting. And now I know you are afraid to put this on the paper.
Yeah, I had bad handwriting. I didn't like writing. I had no reason to write when I was young.
Yeah.
So I have a big fear. I think that's still
It's
like that's
something
why I
dead.
always tell try and get someone else to do the writing.
Wow.
Because I just you threw it out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and I didn't know what the hell.
Yeah.
So I never really read any books. The only books that I read was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
I like Roald Dahl's books. That's the only English book that I read. And the only time I started reading was when my UK friend, which I respected a lot, came to Hong Kong. He was 1 year older than me. He was a big bully. He was the top three, they call them the rebels or something like that. The three crazy people who would just do crazy stuff, right? So he was older and he was leader, whatever not, and he was starting to get interested in Buddhism.
Oh wow.
So I just said to my mom, Hayden is really into Buddhism. And my mom gave him this book and gave me this book. And I never really read it. I read 2 pages, and because I was slow and I never really developed a reading skill. But he just said, this book really fucked me up. Oh my God, Lo-san, this book really fucked me up. And that is what he said. But did he change? Did he stop being a bully? No. He just says, this book really fucked me up. And he started going to London to attend all this Buddhism talks and stuff like that. So I thought, wow, this book must be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm easily influenced, right? This book must be cool because I had a lot of respect for Hayden. And I just kind of like this book was sort of like, oh, this book must be cool. And it was not till that year that I had a summer job. My friend's dad committed suicide, and I had some relation, some girl kind of like ignored me and stuff like that.
You are at the time. You're how old?
I was 18, 19, 19. And I started reading this book.
So your brain is not even developed at the time.
No, but it was this book has changed my life. It's called Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. And I remember vividly the chapter that talked about the bodhisattva thing. And I just thought, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And that just like, wow. Aspiring to work for all beings. That's just like, wow. I think I had a connection with Buddhism in my last life and this whole bodhisattva thing. And I think that's why I gotten into this whole thing. And my mom gave me some tapes. I started listening to it, and I just began reading all these books, but only on Buddhism.
Yeah.
So I learned all my learned all my language, like how you learned your encyclopedia. So I did not have to go through the burden of re-understanding the word of the definition, because I had no definition of all these words.
Yeah.
So I just absorbed all this definition of what does Buddhists mean when they talk about happiness. What do they mean when they talk about suffering? So I didn't have to readjust to any kind of definition from the modern world. Yeah.
It's wow. I can talk longer if you want.
I don't mind. I like talking. Like.
It was just interesting also seeing your eyes, which just like just getting like so big, and it's kind of even glossy because it's the kind of interest. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not easy to talk about all this stuff with people, right? Like I really like this stuff.
Yeah, it's unique because it's like it's something where people don't want to mention. They're afraid of to speak about feelings, especially on the side of men. Like having like a conversation about feelings with guys, it's just like something is wrong.
No, I don't understand that. I guess I'm quite feminine.
But the point is like it doesn't really. I don't see this kind of element like feminine. Oh, I'm so feminine. It's like, what does exactly mean? Feminine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a very like feminine females who represent something what be a manly.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and it's not necessary. I think men like whatever. Not too.
I think so. Like absorbing all this information, I need to change the name of the
Podcast.
especially this one, or just that will be. We can just start a new one, and it will be episode number
Sure.
number one.
Sure.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, whatever. You're the boss, man. I'm happy to talk, and I like
Because
talking.
I think it would be awesome if we can, like you and me,
We do like the Star Wars, you start this and then you release the next one, but it's actually the one before.
Oh, you want to do this kind of
No,
stuff? I was thinking,
you just said you can do another one, but then you put it first.
I wanna bring more people to this table.
Sure.
And have a conversation. I just want to present your mind to somebody else.
Sure. Let's do it.
Because I think this is this kind of element when they will tell me, "Oh, did you meet Chris? Fuck, he fucked me up."
No.
But meaning it's like you just like open, dude. I'd say that's because there's an element of gratitude from this where we are doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also I see this element of like the thoughts what you have in your head. It's missing in the around us.
Sure.
Because like you said, it's like one of your.
I think
the teacher said, okay, there'll be like small percentage of the Trump will have this. It's like something like that, and it's and if I can connect you with people and do this kind of like a butterfly effect, I think it'll be more healthy people, and it will not have a situation with this like we have right now with this sickness, sickness of the body
and the mind.
Yeah, and it's connected. So
let's do it. I would love to do that.
So what do you think is right now with this mind body fit training? So mind is, what is the percentage? You want to put the percentage or no?
Let's think about it later.
Yeah. You got it. All right. I think so, the truth is I'm tired.
That's cool, man.
Try it. I get it if I just move, I move my apartment and then.
That's cool, man.
And that's all. So guys, let's finish. Chris, how people can find you? What is the best way to contact you?
Just add me on Facebook, WhatsApp me, anything.
Mm-hmm. So I will add those informations under the video.
Yeah.
And then additionally, will be distributed this information. If you have any special for people who lives in Hong Kong and they wanna see you, like they can just come over, meet with you.
Yeah, come over and we have a cafe here. We'll drink some tea, have a shake.
One very, very interested information about Chris. His ability to make those shakes and those kind of like a shakes meals. I love it. I'm addicted, and it's the app what he's building, and it's implementing the element of credits. You just buy. Right now, it's how much for credits?
You can top up any credits. It's like a wallet.
But right now, I remember if I top up 1,000 or 500.
Oh, you topped up 500,
and there's some extras.
And you got 600 to spend.
Yeah, so you're getting an additional percentage more when you've
top up your wallet.
Top up the wallet.
Yeah.
But you right now you just cash.
Cash at the moment, yeah. Or you can pay me whatever.
Oh, so you can pay me FPS also?
Yeah, also, yeah.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Oh, damn, that's good. So yes, guys, that was Chris. It's me, Mac, Powerhouse podcast, and then name of this episode was the wellness of mind and body. But it's let's just keep it wellness,
like that.
Wellness of mind and body.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Boom.
Hey.
Stay safe.
Yep. All right. 2 hours.
Damn.
Which button? This one?